Welcome to the Baller Man podcast. I'm your host, Remy. This is episode 6. Thank you for tuning in. I've got a lot on my mind, and it's the eve of the World Cup. Well, the eve is today. The World Cup starts today. It's Thursday. And there's so much on my mind. And I can't lie, I just been thinking a lot about the referee, Omar Artan. He just wanted to do his job, and he just wanted to referee. And that's all he was going to do. He is a legitimate, well-established, well-esteemed referee. And he wanted to represent not just Somalia, but Africa as a continent at the World Cup. It's a disgrace, an absolute disgrace that he's not been allowed to go in. But this link to terrorist organizations or whatever is nuts. It's a disgrace. And the fact that Gianni Infantino had the gall to be like, everyone like chill, relax. And then a few hours later, we get this UEFA thing of he's going to referee the Super Cup. No one cares about the Super Cup. They're calling it the highly anticipated match between PSG and Aston Villa in Salzburg. It's not highly anticipated. The only people who care about this are Aston Villa fans, because PSG fans don't care about this. This is a corporate money grab from UEFA. Literally. Anyway, do you know how many games these players have played already? Do you know how many games these players are going to play from now until the start of next season? A lot. They've got the World Cup, then the Super Cup, then the pre-season tour to Singapore, and then back to Emirates Cup, Audi Cup, then the Community Shield. Got to play that as well. Then start the season. Players are cooked. So anyway, sorry. I digress. We don't care about the Super Cup, right? So this is a token gesture. Clearly, Infantino is lent on UEFA and be like, yo, give him this. This is a token gesture, and it's a disgrace. But what I find problematic, and what I find the most problematic, is that seemingly the people that are in charge of these visas, the US immigration people, can just say whatever they like about people, and it just has to stick, and that's it. Just like with the referee, actual player this time, Moroccan player Zakaria El Ouadi, who plays in the top division in Belgium, he was denied the visa because they said that his dad had a suspicious beard. We can't even begin to unpack that on a brief podcast that I'm doing here, but a suspicious beard. What makes the beard suspicious? If the same beard was on a man in a biker jacket, in the south of America, Harley Davidson, and he had a long beard, would that be suspicious? Exactly. What makes the beard suspicious is the fact that you are calling the man suspicious based on the color of his skin. And the fact that that's now affecting whether his son can play in a World Cup when he's a professional footballer, a legitimate footballer who's worked his whole life to play football, and Morocco then deserve the right to be in the World Cup as well, just for the US to be like, actually, nah, your dad's beard is suspicious. I don't like looking at your dad's beard. Do you know how mad that is? And the player wouldn't have actually got into the US if it weren't for an intervention from the Morocco Football Federation. That's crazy. Imagine working so hard in any field, investment banking, go through your whole uni assessment center, graduate, then you go to a grad scheme, you work hard, you grind as an intern, you do this and that and work to the top. You get to, a high level where you're like partner or whatever, and then someone be like, yeah, no, we're not going to let you in to the US because your dad's got a funny looking beard. It's frustrating that people can deny you of things that you've worked so hard for without ever knowing how hard you worked for it, but also without any consideration of the human being that you are. Because I think what's lost in this, especially on the US side, is that these are human beings that have worked hard to get to a certain point in their life. And isn't that the American dream? It's based on merit, right? We want to live in a world where people are rewarded on merit, right? These people have worked so hard. This referee is the best referee in Somalia, the best referee, one of the best referees in Africa. He's earned the right to represent FIFA and his country and his continent at the World Cup. Merit. But no, the US denied him of that. Why? For no reason. Because he wasn't going to do anything. He was just going to come and referee. What was he going to do? Nothing. And when the journalists asked them to provide evidence of what they're talking about, they never provide anything. They can never give more information. Suddenly it's classified. They ain't got no information. They're just doing it based on looks. They didn't like the guy's beard. His dad's beard. Imagine working to be a footballer. Do you know how many early morning sessions his dad must have taken him to training? Had to go on a train or coach bus, get to training in the rain, lose, you're injured, got a rehab, you can't go out with your friends, you can't drink, you can't smoke, all of that stuff. You work so hard just to get to a place where, you know, you can represent your country at the World Cup. And then the US being like, nah, we don't like your dad's beard, so you can't come. What? That's insane. And it only affects people that are Muslim. It's only affecting people that are Muslim right now, anyway, because the US are doing it. But it's sickening. It's sickening. Yeah, bro. And then, more personally, I've been thinking today as well. Like, it would affect me too, no? Because like I would speak about Palestine or speak about whatever politics or whatever it is I speak about. I'm trying to start a whole like football platform magazine that speaks about football, politics, music and fashion and all these other things. If I had to hand over my social media to the US, immigration people, and they went through it, would they let me in? I don't know, probably not. So that's what I was thinking about today. And then I also went to a football charity event. I didn't play much. I only played like 15 minutes. I won a corner. And yeah, the fact that I was playing against Avellino at Craven Cottage was mad. But anyway, I love football so much, by the way, that I came back from that charity event in the rain, soaking wet. Came back, did a bit of work, then recorded a football podcast. And now I'm going to go play football on Footy Addicts. I love football. I do this for real, guys. This ain't a gimmick. Some people, trust me, I've seen them. Football is just a vehicle to fame, a vehicle to money, a vehicle to something else. I can only tell you about myself. And guys, I love football so much. Why do you think I'm doing my own World Cup sweepstake and organising that? It was so long. But I love football. I talk about football in here, have a podcast, have a platform, do this thing, because I love football. And I will touch on that in a second because I want to speak about something, a bit of a hot take. But yeah, I'm trying to get controversial on this podcast as well. I need to get viral. So controversial take, but I'll say that for the second half of the pod. But yeah, I love football. And it will be a shame for me, and I made a TikTok about it earlier, it would be a shame for me to like try and do all this stuff, right? And yeah, a dream of mine would be to work at a World Cup. Next World Cup in 4 years' time, if I'm trying to build Ball and Man and do stuff, yeah, that might be part of my 4-year strategy is that like, yeah, at point X in 4 years' time, I want to be at the World Cup working in some capacity. If that's a dream of mine, I would hate for that to then be denied based off freedom of speech or like what I'm speaking about, because I'm not a threat. I am not a threat. If anyone tells you I am a threat, they are lying, because I have never been a threat to anyone. Maybe a couple centre mids in an SAO in my heyday, because yeah, I was getting about, but like that's it. I'm not a threat to the US. And when have we lost the idea that people can, say, oh yeah, like what this person done is wrong and bad and we shouldn't do that. But I still want to go to the country that they run, because that country is rich with culture and history that I respect and I want to still participate in. How are those two things like seen as like mutually exclusive? Ultimately, it seems like anyone that disagrees with them, you're an enemy, you're an op. And that's just not. And yeah, back to the more personal aspect of it is that, like, I've been thinking a lot today about the choices that we make and trying to talk about football and politics and like keep politics out of football. All of these things are so intertwined, and the world we live in now today, it's almost as if the system is designed for you to not feel like you can speak about certain things because your job depends on it, or a visa depends on it, or do you know what I mean? Especially in the content space. And this is why a lot of influencers get a lot of flack, and it's a hard line to navigate. But in terms of like, as a content creator slash influencer, let's use that phrase, as a content creator slash influencer, primarily your fundamental way to make money is brands to pay you, whether that be long term, like ambassador role, or whether that's short term, paying you for content or whatever, right? That is your bread and butter. You cannot get work and make money and make a living and put food on the table and pay your rent if brands do not want to work with you. Yeah, influencers get stick for it, but I think all content creators kind of have this choice, and it's the choice of what you choose to make content about. And in the context of the World Cup and football and content, this is a football, platform that's trying to talk about football, politics, culture, community, all these things. I'm trying to merge anything with football where it intersects, right? And so I'm consciously thinking about this, but I know a lot of content creators think about it as well. And with the World Cup and what's going on, it's like, rah, that choice is now being really shown for what it is. And it's like, there is a line. And for a lot of people, that line used to be just an invisible line that was between the brands and you. Because fundamentally, you have to make money from your content. And brands are the people that are paying people. And we all know if you speak about certain things, you become less attractive to those brands that are paying. It's just a fact. Whether they agree or disagree, because they might disagree with you, or they might even agree with you, but they won't work with you just because it's just extra hassle. Why would they work with someone who's speaking about Sudan and Gaza when they can choose someone that isn't speaking about Sudan and Gaza and not have to worry about whether you say something or whether the US calls you a anti-Semite or a terrorist. Do you know what I mean? It's just another choice that they have to make, that they won't want to make, so they won't choose you. And that's where we are in the world. And the World Cup is showing that even the people at the very, very highest level of their field can still be affected by just whatever this is. I don't even know what to call it. And FIFA should be doing more to combat this. But in fact, it feels like they are just aiding and abetting whatever the US are doing. And yeah, it's sad. And the World Cup starts today. I want it to be the best. I got Netherlands in my sweepstake. I got Netherlands. I'm praying for Godi Kakpo Screamer to get my goal of the tournament. No Julian Timber though. That's sad. Also, yeah, I want to touch on that. A lot of the Arsenal players are going into the World Cup injured, and some are pulling out, some aren't. And it's concerning me because everyone's acting like it's going to end. It's not going to end. It's not going to end. So where do we go from here? Do you know what I mean? Anyway, I don't want to talk about Arsenal because I just want to see transfers. I don't care. I want the season to start. Anyway, yeah, but Infantino is just a weirdo. And I feel like it's very Trumpian, the way that he's responding to the journalists, like asking them, oh, in 2035, the Women's World Cup, how would you like it if people told you who you had to let into your country? No, that isn't what we're talking about here. Why are you making up things in the future when we're talking about what's happening now? And actually, if England had gotten to the point where we're not letting people in based on their father's beard, then yeah, maybe we have gone a bit far and maybe you should tell us. I don't know, what's so wrong with being told when you're wrong? Would you find it normal that FIFA would dictate to the British government who to let into the country and who to not let in? Actually, I would hope that a governing body like FIFA, with the power that you have, would use your voice and your power to inform the British government or whichever government that they are making a mistake and that they are wrong about certain things. And that's okay. Sometimes we are all wrong. I feel like we're taught that as kids, right? That it's okay to be wrong. But as adults, we've seen that some people, some states, some countries refuse to be wrong and refuse to be told when they are wrong. And people are scared to tell people that they're wrong. That's the real tea. A lot of people are scared. And I think Infantino is scared. Whether he's just scared of Trump as a man or whether he's compromised, we don't know. But it feels like he's definitely under Trump's thumb and won't say a bad word about him. And ultimately will sell out football for Trump. That's how bad it is. And I was speaking earlier about how much I love football. These are the people that work in football, that work for football, that represent football, football's governing body. And these people don't love football. I would die to work in FIFA, to work at FIFA. These people take for granted the privilege that working for FIFA is and representing the game that we love. And they are doing a disgrace in the name of football at this World Cup, honestly. Anyway, next thing I want to touch on briefly is everyone's talking about Qatar and saying like, oh, how come everyone's super quiet about what's happening in America when in Qatar everyone had this panic about human rights abuses and how bad it was, and everyone's up in arms and everyone was protesting and not going to the World Cup or not covering the World Cup, and it was so bad for Qatar. Why is no one doing it for the US? Well, I hear it. I do hear it. And there's definitely a double standard. We all know that. But the difference is that whatever people were saying about Qatar and the alleged human rights abuses or whatever, and whatever people's gripes were with Qatar, it didn't affect people from going to the World Cup in the same way. The World Cup experience was still catered to the fan and to people. So if you just wanted to go to the World Cup, you could. Whereas the difference is now is that with the US, if you say anything, you are not going to the World Cup. You are not going to the World Cup. Some people's whole contract in their job is based on going to the World Cup. Some people's whole 4 years of their life is based around this one moment of the World Cup. Some people have planned for this trip, planned for the content, planned for the shoot that they're doing. You know, they've got bookings throughout the country. They've got, you know, so much of their future and their livelihood depends on this World Cup. They are not going to speak about anything to do with the US or the World Cup. They can't. And that's the difference. The difference is that the US scares people more than Qatar. We're at the point now where you can't even say human rights. You can't even say Palestine. You can't even say Somalia without America being like, excuse me. That's the difference. Whereas with Qatar, their whole thing was, come to Qatar, see for yourself. You say we're so bad, come and see. Whereas America are like, oh, you said what? You're never coming here. That's the difference. You could speak about Qatar. You can't speak about the US. People are scared of the US. Trump and America symbolize a bully in the world. They are the bullies of the world. They will tell you what to do, and if you don't do anything they say, and if they're in any way displeased with you, then you will feel it, and everyone knows it. But yeah, this World Cup is crazy. Aside from the visa and people being denied entry situation, the fact that, you know, the pitches are literally being repurposed from other sports and they're not fit for, you know, football, the distance from stadiums and the fans, the money that fans are being charged, the fact that they didn't want to allow people to have their own water bottles, and had to be told that they can't actually deny that. That's human right. It's crazy what's happening. And we will watch. I will watch. I will watch the World Cup, but I'm watching my head like this. I want everyone to know that I'm watching the World Cup, but I'm shaking my head while I'm doing it because it's a disgrace. And if I didn't love football as much as I do, I wouldn't watch it, but I do. And I want to see which players are the best in the world. I want to see which players I want Arsenal to sign. I want to see England win the World Cup, you know, and I do think we're going to do it this time. Come on. No, when I saw the Bellingham, Anderson, Rice midfield though, bloody hell, it's a good midfield, that, isn't it? That midfield three, yeah, I believe. All we need is a few goals from Kane, Rashford, Saka. I believe in it. That's what I'm gonna say. We do have a segment with Maryanne, so we're gonna go to that now. We're in the park, Hyde Park, just chatting about the World Cup and some upcoming things in a more positive light. I feel like this has been quite a negative segment so far. So yeah, over to more positivity.
So how many teams are in the World Cup?
Maybe 48 teams. But there's a lot of teams this year. This is the most teams.
Oh, they have different numbers each team, each time.
Well, they have been increasing it, yeah, because more
countries are wanting to get involved in the World Cup.
More countries, more matches, more money. More countries, more shirts to sell, more tickets to sell, more money.
Yeah.
So.
Is Japan in the World Cup?
I believe so, yeah. Japan are a good team.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah. They have Kamada, he plays for Crystal Palace. They have Kubo, he used to play for Real Madrid, now he plays for Real Sociedad. They got a few players, Maeda.
What's your top pick from each continent?
My top pick for each continent at the World Cup?
Yep.
So the team that I think is going to do the best from each continent?
Yep.
Well, from Europe, England is coming.
We're not in Europe, are we? No.
Well,
we're not in the EU.
We're not in the EU.
Sound like a silly question.
Yeah, I think England's coming home. Yeah, I guess Japan from Asia. African country, I think Ghana.
What about Morocco? Is Morocco quite good?
Morocco are good, but I think Ghana.
Didn't they win the African Cup?
No, Senegal won.
Well,
then
controversy. Senegal won.
And then, but I think Ghana are gonna, and Ghana have like World Cup heritage. Do you remember when Luis Suarez handballed it off the line and then? No, you don't know about that.
No.
Yeah, it was wild. Anyway, Ghana have a score to settle in the World Cup, so I'm going for Ghana in Africa, and then from the Americas, I'm gonna say I think USA might do all right. You know, they have a good manager, and
do they have good players?
They got a couple players. Yeah, they're not bad. You'd think they'd be better. Their defense isn't great, but they have some players that are pretty decent. Anthony Robertson, Timothy Weah, Folarin Balogun, Pulisic. What?
Sometimes when you just name footballers, like they just sound like such footballer names. It's just like you could say anyone's name, I would believe you.
And then from the South American teams,
you just remember all of them. You just remember every single player.
For the South American teams, I'm going for Brazil, as you can see. Brazil. Brasileiro. I'm going to get some Havaianas and dye my hair blonde. But
if they win, should we go?
Always trying to get us to go to Brazil. like
Arsenal won the league. If they win the double, should we go?
You know too much. What do you know about football?
He says that I hate football so much. I actually don't. I just haven't been worshipping Arsenal since I was 5 years old. I'm new to this game. I've only been in it 2 years and a half. That's how long my stake goes.
Well, apparently not.
Well, apparently not. But I didn't actually care about it. I would just say, I support Arsenal. You couldn't tell me one single player that I couldn't be able to name it to you when I was younger.
Have you seen that Neymar's made the World Cup squad for Brazil?
Oh, really? What happened to him the last couple of years?
He got a bad injury, kind of fell off.
Is he actually that good of a player, though? I thought it was more that he was just, like, good-looking, so he was just, like, on Tumblr and stuff back in the day. You know what I mean?
Was Neymar a good player? That's like asking...
Is water wet?
That's like asking, is water wet?
Yeah, but
Neymar is one of the best. Neymar is one of the best to ever play the game, but also to play the game in a way that like to see played. You know, have fun, do tricks,
Mm.
just do things that not many other players can do.
Mm.
And that's why he's in the Brazil squad, even though everyone probably would admit that he's past his best and physically does look a bit finished. I've seen the clips of him playing in Santos in Brazil. It's like watching someone that used to be great, like really great, and you're like waiting for them to do the thing, like, and be the magical thing. And he's still obviously better than like most footballers, even with like dodgy knees and dodgy ankles. But like, yeah, it's not Neymar. It's not Neymar Junior.
Mm.
But you never know. A player like him could just lock in for like 5 games in the World Cup, and that's what you need, man. Just 5 good games. Don't even play all the games. Just play half the games. Bit of magic. But Brazil got a good team. They got a couple Arsenal players. Gabriel Magalhaes, Martinelli.
Is like Australia or New Zealand or anything like that in it? Oh my God, that scared me.
I think Australia might. Australia are decent. They're alright. They're not great. They used to have one player that I used to like though. Tim Cahill.
Tim Cahill.
Tim Cahill.
What did you say?
I'm sure that's been done before.
What's his name?
Tim Cahill.
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 Tim and Guile, mate. Tim and Guile. He used to score, yeah. He used to score, yeah. And like he like run to the corner flag and be like, bam, 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 bam. He scored a screamer in the 2014 World Cup, like a screamer. Wait, let me show you. What? Timmy Cahill.
You just know so much about the most random things.
It's a World Cup, man.
You're talking about a game. Like, I couldn't even tell you like the last episode of something I watched in detail, and you can tell me a game from like 20 years ago that you were probably like 6 years old for, and you'll remember the exact kick at like 93 minutes or something. I'm just like by an Australian football player.
Well, yeah, I love football. I'm passionate about football.
Yeah, it's just you remember so much. That's why it's so cool.
Oh, it's up. Are you seeing that? Yeah. Bat. And the thing about Cahill, yeah, is that
I think a lot of praise needs to be done to the guy that hit him the ball.
Okay, yeah, no, it was a good pass, but to hit it on the volley though, like it didn't bounce and he smacks it off the crossbar. You're talking about the assist, yeah, it was a good assist, but
look,
bang, what? And the thing is, yeah, Tim Cahill didn't play up front for his club. He used to play for Everton. He was a good player. He used to play with Mikel Arteta. They were teammates.
In Arsenal?
Everton.
Oh.
But Arsenal bought Arteta from Everton.
How old is Michael Arteta?
He's 44, I believe. He's the second youngest ever manager to win the Premier League. Do you know who's the youngest ever?
Pep Guardiola.
Incorrect, but guess.
Arsene Wenger.
You're gonna get it because I assume it's the one of the few managers you actually do know. No.
Alex Ferguson.
The only other manager I assume you would probably know. You know this name. I know you know this name.
Who does he manage?
He now manages Real Madrid.
I don't know the guy's name.
Yes, you do, Maryanne.
I don't.
I believe in you.
The guy that went crazy the other day on the video.
No, but he hired him. Come on. You know this from the past.
What did it start
He used to
with?
manage Chelsea. Jose Mourinho.
Jose Mourinho. Okay, Jose Mourinho.
Jose
yeah.
Mourinho.
Okay.
West
Sorry.
London. West London. I thought you knew.
I do know I am Jose Mourinho.
See, there you go. There you go. You do know things.
Yeah.
What TV shows have you watched recently? I want to talk to you. Do you know what videos always get likes? The videos that we did. You know when we recorded videos about Wasteman in the park.
Oh really?
Those videos always get likes randomly. I think we should do more stuff about film and TV. You know, capitalize on our good looks while we still have them.
I was watching, I think it's called like 3 Imperfect Women or like Imperfect Women. It's about this woman, these 3 friends that have been friends for years, like childhood friends. And they're like...
Let me see who's in it. Oh, it's the girl from Handmaid's Tale.
And then the girl from, what's that film that we watched? The one about the guy that he was dating a white woman and then she turned it out to be evil.
Oh.
Anyway, yeah, I watched the first episode of that. They're three friends that have known each other since they were young, and then they're going out for one of the girls' birthdays. And then one of the girls who's not its birthday, the Kate Mara character, she's having an affair on her husband, and she's like telling Kerry Washington, and Kerry Washington's like, you need to tell him, like, you need to stop it, not tell him, you need to stop it. So then she's like, oh, I'm scared to stop it, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, I'm going to meet him after work. And then her husband calls Kerry and she's like, she hasn't come home. Like, it's like 5 a.m. She hasn't come home. And she was like, is she with you? And she's like, is she with me? You know, when, yeah obviously. I was thinking, girl, you should just say she's with me.
Yeah.
But she was scared more for her safety because it was like, why is she not home? So she was like, and then she goes over to the husband's house, and the husband, the police knock on the door, and they're like, she's been found dead, and she's been attacked, and I don't know if it's sexually assaulted or what. So it's like finding out who her killer is. I don't know. Imperfect Women. I think it's based off a book.
I watched episode 1 of The Capture yesterday. Mm-hmm. Season 1, episode 1. And do you know what? Something that I find so funny.
What?
So I watched from season 2, obviously. I didn't watch season 1.
I was the one that was recommending it to him. I don't know why we didn't just watch season 1, because
you know, I think season 2 came out and you were like, oh, let's just watch a show that I want to watch. We just started from where you left off, because
no, I had watched that show already.
Season 2?
Yep.
Really?
With Papa Sedu, yeah.
Oh, so then why did we watch it?
Because I was putting you on.
Why didn't we watch season 1?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know why.
You were in charge, and you.
I think I was just like, oh, the first season's
a bit dead.
Yeah, I was just like, I don't know, and then I said the second season where it gets really good, but I don't actually remember the first season, so I don't think it was that bad.
It was good so far.
Had a lower budget.
No, I like it so far. I didn't know that Carrie and the old guy with grey hair were like seeing each other at the start.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
You know the guy that like
she wouldn't have put that forward. Yeah, the grey-haired like Dilf.
Okay, I don't know.
No, but like I'm not.
I don't know.
I'm not saying, oh my god, he's so attractive. I'm saying like he's not like a.
Wait.
He's not like.
Wait. Okay, let's just rewind.
Okay.
The guy that like was in charge of like the SO15,
yes.
but with the other woman.
Yes.
I forgot his name, but and that's why she got the promotion. She only got the promotion to go to homicide at the start of season 1, where this whole thing starts, because like he basically
sleeps with her and gives her the job.
Yeah, is basically like helping her. She's getting a fast track, because remember at the start they're like, oh yeah, you're fast track. Like that's why the people in her department don't really like her as much, because they know that she's just gonna get moved up to be back at the top of the thing.
Yep.
But yeah, from season 2 onwards, I didn't know that was the thing. So they hid that well from me as a viewer. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like you wouldn't have been able to tell.
Yeah, like they don't make it obvious that they have a history.
Yeah.
Beyond a professional one. What film do you want to watch next?
In the cinema, Obsession. Out of the cinema, Remy doesn't really like The Hunger Games, and it's so.
I've read the Hunger Games book, the first one.
Okay.
He's
watched the first film and hasn't.
Seen it. I haven't seen anything.
You said you'd watched the first film.
I haven't seen it in full.
If you'd read the books, why aren't you reading the film then? Watching the film?
Because I read it when I was a teenager, and like then
it's like saying I read the Harry Potter books and I didn't read Harry Potter. Watch Harry Potter.
I liked it when I was young, and then the films came out and I just like didn't watch it, and then now that I'm older, I just associate it with being like a kid. So I was like, oh, why would I watch it? But I know it's good. I'll watch it. We can watch the whole thing, the marathon, back to back. How many films are there?
I think 5.
5 films. They're making new ones. They're making newer ones, right?
No, there's 4. I think.
Like prequels.
Oh yeah. It's like a whole franchise. They've got The Hunger Games. I don't know the second one. Hunger Games 2. No, maybe not Hunger Games 2.
Catching Fire.
And then it's Catching Fire, and then Mockingjay, and then part 1, and then part 2. I hated after Harry Potter with Deathly Hallows. They had to put in part 1, part 2. Do you know how pissed I was leaving the cinema? Part 1. I was like, 2 years waiting for this. I need to know what happened to Harry.
I know you're an annoying kid. Like I feel sorry for your mum and dad, low key. I know they suffered.
They did stuff. What's the worst thing you've ever done?
What's the worst thing you've ever done? Me and Maryanne watched the drama recently. I know we're late, but we finally watched the drama. So we want to know, what is the worst thing you've ever done? And would you tell your partner? Would you tell your partner the week before your wedding?
Sorry, I was going to say one of the things that I found out about the film. So, I don't know if this changes your perspective on it, but it's written by a white man, director.
I have no problem with that. The white man invented gravity, so how could I hate what white men do?
But like,
No, I hear you.
I feel like, I don't know, this is what I'm taking from it anyway. He kind of wants you to like sympathize with her to then realize like, oh, it's not actually that bad. Like you would feel sorry for her, so why don't you feel sorry for me? Do you get me?
I hear what you're saying.
But apparently people think that the whole film is about how far you go for love. I don't think it's about that at all.
I do think it's a bit about that. I do think it's a bit about that. Wait, going back to your point about the whole like white guy sympathy thing. I think more in like a sort of Black Mirror sort of way, turning a stereotype on its head. Mm-hmm. Like obviously the stereotype of like a white school shooter, loner, etc. And adding a little twist that is a Zendaya character, and then giving a justification of why someone like that could be drawn to that aesthetic and those sort of thoughts. I don't think it's trying to evoke sympathy from the viewer of the character. I think you are just seeing the
takeaway that you want to see.
No. I think you're just seeing the scenario in the context of Charlie. Is the guy's name? Charlie, the character's name. His name Charlie, the husband, and you know we're just seeing it with as much sympathy as Charlie would have sympathy for the woman that he's about to marry, and like we are judging her and judging the context in which she had these thoughts and what happened, in the same way that he would be. And I think that is a big part of it, the context of it being about a wedding and having the other couple give their experiences and showing their dynamic. It is about love and the dynamic, less so about the school shooter stuff. And again, the same with weapons as well. I think, and it's so weird about the Americanness of it all, but it's kind of like, for us it's so shocking, the school shooter stuff, right? But for them it's a bit like less shocking. So I don't think for the American audience, like the main takeaway from the film will be about the school shootingness of it. It'll be more about the marriage of it. Do you know what I mean? Like, would you still marry them? It's not about how bad is school shootings. That's what everyone's talking about. Do you know what I mean?
But wouldn't you be very polarized on that issue? Like people in America would either be like, obviously no one's, actually just, let me not say this stuff.
What are you gonna say?
I'm going to say not everyone's pro-gun or something.
I think the main question from the film isn't about is school shootings bad or can black people do school shootings. Yeah, basically sometimes like a story needs to have a certain character, be a certain race.
Yeah.
And sometimes some stories don't require like the race to be relevant. And like, I don't think the race is as relevant in the story.
I don't think they try and put it as that.
Especially not for Zendaya's character. For the husband of the other friend.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know. I was quite positive on the film as a film. Didn't love it. Did you like Robert Pattinson?
What, like as an actor or a character?
Character, actor, both. I just felt like it was just a bit.
I feel like as a character, yeah, I didn't like him. He cheated on her.
Did he really cheat?
Yes, he did. Don't even joke about that.
No, but he just kissed her. But also he was like he's going insane. Like he was
you
like,
actually
no,
being serious?
I am, because like he was just going insane. Clearly, like he imagine like he wasn't sane. Like he was just like trying to just like, do you know what I mean? He didn't like want to like cheat. If that makes sense.
But he's okay. Was there a gun pointed at his head
I know,
saying cheat?
I know.
He,
but
he did want to cheat. He was spiraling, but he still wanted to.
Yeah.
He still chose to, in his moment of spiral, to cheat.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, aren't you supposed to be having a panic attack or something? No, trying to cheat. Ugh.
No, but he's not trying to cheat. Like he didn't want to cheat. Like he was.
Oh, brother.
But he didn't actually want to cheat. He was just like trying to just like.
So you're saying I'm going to tell you something like, oh, I don't know, something bad about me, and then you're going to go and cheat because you're spiraling. How'd you have this much storage? 34 minutes.
Okay, now that we're back, this has been episode 6 of the Ball and Mad podcast. Thank you for tuning in. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and yeah, I am sincerely looking for more guests and potential podcast venue space. I'm just very keen to chat. I'm still in the very building phases of what I want to do with this platform and where I want to take it and whatever. But I'm very open to conversation. I'm very open to talking about it. And if you're interested in doing something similar, then maybe we can work together. Anyway, peace and love. Hopefully that made sense. Hopefully that was coherent.